Hi, I'm Mark from Crock Farm Auction. I'm here to talk to you today about an exceptional example of Western PA stoneware that was recently consigned to us from Texas, of all places. It's a 6-gallon Hamilton & Jones jar with an incised and freehand decorated eagle at the base. A really incredible piece, the only example of its kind that we know of. Of course, Hamilton & Jones is one of the two most famous Greensboro, Pennsylvania potteries. The other one is James Hamilton. And Hamilton & Jones was the partnership of James Hamilton's nephew, Frank Hamilton, and a man named John Jones. And you'll see a plethora of pieces stenciled Hamilton & Jones. But this is certainly one of the nicest ones that has come to auction in quite some time. You can tell by the way the stenciling is done, this particular style of stenciling, as well as this elaborate freehand decoration, what they typically call a fuchsia design, but is probably more accurately just a sort of a rendition of the tulip design. This great vining, these dots on the rim, these types of elements, as well as this banding around the center, indicate this is one of their earlier pots, made shortly after the pottery was formed. And the pottery partnership was formed in 1866, and occasionally you'll see pieces with late 1860s dates that are freehand decorated, including a freehand signature. So this piece was made sometime around 1870 when they first started employing a stenciled signature. But the great thing about it is this fantastic freehand eagle. Of course, eagles were popular in Greensboro and New Geneva, Pennsylvania, from the late 1860s well into the late 19th century. And James Hamilton, Frank's uncle, was actually called himself, as his business, Eagle Pottery, probably because they use that eagle motif so regularly. And his design is a spread wing stenciled eagle with Eagle Pottery written in the banner very often. And this is probably sort of Frank's rendition of an eagle, similar to what his uncle was doing. You don't see too many stenciled eagles by Hamilton & Jones, and so this was likely done right as they started doing eagle designs, or as a response to what Frank's uncle was doing. But you can see it's a very folky design. It doesn't have that more two-dimensional stenciled eagle design where the wings are spread to the left and right, but he's more in sort of a sideways stance with one wing in the front and one wing in the back. And you can actually see the design, if you can get this, Luke, is lightly incised throughout. Even little talons are incised at the base. And you can see the wing. One wing here was actually very lightly incised, and he didn't like exactly where that was positioned, and so he put it here. So this incising was largely a sort of a model, an outline, a guideline for this nice brushwork throughout. That you can see on the head of the eagle, where the brushwork is much lighter to make that distinctive bald head of the white head of the American eagle. As I said, this is the only example that we've seen from Western Pennsylvania with a freehand eagle like this, and we're very excited to offer it in our July 20th auction.